Alright, and I'm back, and there's a Revenant here. Revenants are powerful enemies, but if you sneak attack them, you can make their bulk and their level of dangerousness irrelevant. So I'm coming over here because there's a crate I can bust open. Knife open, handgun bullets. Thankfully though, if you're a pretty conservative player and you play defensively and you utilize your sneak appropriately, you should be able to destroy the Revenants, and you should be able to knife the Rottens with relative ease. So there's an elevator up here, but if you look closely, well, you can't see, but there's a Revenant up there on it, but the way the game, I don't think it's spawned yet, so there should be Revenants down here. I'm not sure if they're spawned yet, but they should. There that is. You can point to it from Talia and pick it up. It's just a ruby. Oh, the Revenants haven't spawned yet. The Revenants will spawn up there though. They will in due time. You come around here. There's an empty bottle. I actually missed that on one of my other playthroughs. You combined it with firebomb because fire is really useful against the Revenants in Barry Burton's campaign. So there that is. We're not going to be going in there just yet. But alcohol. You always want to pick up alcohol because alcohol is really useful. Just really strong on Barry Burton's campaign. You'll notice its use on Clara's campaign if you're fighting against Ironheads along with the explosive bottle. But the firebomb bottle, the Molotov, is just super useful. So then you want to come in here and turn the power on. This is actually obligatory. You have to do this. Alright, I have a good amount of ammo. I have 2 magnum bullets, 4 sniper bullets. Now we come in here and we're going to be fighting a new type of Revenant. And it's called the Durga. It's, instead of it being 1 or 2 bodies mashed together any old random way, it is a bunch of bodies just mixed and mashed together in any possible way. And this makes the Durga ridiculously bulky, but it also makes it have its core exposed on the torso, and it comes in about now. It has this long Ouroboros mandible that it can stretch out and swing at you. The swing has massive range, and thanks to all the bodies being composed of, it has just parts of the bodies hanging down, protecting its core. You want to shoot its core. You want Natalia to come up here with you. You want Natalia to go to where you go, and if you aim at it, it'll curve its mandible and it'll make it hard to shoot. It's making itself hard to shoot. And this thing has a lot of range, and you want it to put its mandible up so you can effectively go around it. And going to the back should warrant it wanting to come up here to reach us, because it can't reach us now. Come on, there it is. It gets up pretty quickly, and its mandible has so much range, and after you shoot it more times, you'll give it more damage, and parts of the body that hang down and protect the Ouroboros core actually slow it down, and this is what you want. You want it to slow down, and as you can see, that attack, it can go through a solid object, and it just has massive amounts of range, and you don't ever want to question it or challenge it. You just do not want to be in the way when it uses its massive mandible. If you shoot if you shoot parts of its body off, it'll get speed, it'll become faster, and it'll also potentially go into a berserk state. So that attack it just did is an attack that can instantly kill Barry, and it is signaled by when it makes a groaning sound, and it'll charge at you. That attack has massive range and it's instant death. If it doesn't reach you, but it hits you, it does massive amounts of damage. And you want to be very, very careful of that attack. Very, very careful. And when you shot all of its body parts off, the attack, it has much longer range. And you don't ever want to be near it when it utilizes this attack. And as its HP goes down, or as it gets faster, as you shoot parts of its body off, it is more likely to spam the attack more when it goes into berserk mode. And you just do not want to challenge the attack itself. And if you use a fire bottle on it, it will automatically destroy parts of its body, but it becomes faster and it goes into berserk mode. And when it's in berserk mode, it'll start swinging its mandible much more often, and it becomes much faster. And you just do not want to deal with it when it's like that. You want to deal with it while it's like this, because although it takes longer, it's much more manageable to beat. So, see, it's using its mandible to stop me from shooting it. It is a very annoying enemy, because it is just bulky. It can take a lot of damage, and see, it knows when you want to shoot at it. And I just wasted a magnum bullet, and massive range, a lot of HP, instant death attack. It's pretty much the opposite of a grasp. A grasp is like a glass cannon. This thing can eat hits, and it can do massive amounts of damage. And I would love to burn this thing, but I just don't want to. This is probably the hardest Durga fight you have to do, because the amount of room you have to outmaneuver it is pretty damn small. And if you burn this thing, or if you shoot off all of its body parts that are hanging off, it'll just become faster and much more difficult to deal with in a narrow space. So I shoot it. If you shoot it from the front, you just don't want that. Oh, fuck, it caught me. I tried to run behind it, but this is what happens when you get caught. It activates this cutscene, and you can't do nothing, and you die. And that is why the Revenant, that's why the Durga is just so damn dangerous. And that is why the first encounter with it is probably the most memorable, because there's just not a lot of room to maneuver around it, and you're just forced to deal with it in this little narrow space. And I might actually have to make another part of this video, because the Durga is just so dangerous. There we go. I just got a lot of free hits on this thing, so that's actually good. I don't like using my magnum bullets, but I will if I have to. So it's gonna climb up. Oh fuck, I missed the first shot. I got the second shot though. Okay, I think I shot it in the right place. But it's very slow when it has all of its appendages on, but it has a lot of range. It has massive range. If you don't shoot the main part of its body, your bullets will just be ineffective. Jumping, look at that, it just hit Natalia, and she was up here, and just this massive range on that mandible is something that players will never really forget. Alright. Oh shit. This enemy has a decent AI. It's just slow, but if you burn it, it becomes quite fast. Deceivingly fast. Fuck, I shot a part of its body off. See, I'm trying to, there we go, when it turns like that, you can get some free shots in it. Yeah, when you shoot off one of its limbs, then it can do this instant death attack and it can activate it. So I'm just going to run by it now because it has some cooldown when it does its instant death attack, and you want to take advantage of it. Anytime you can when it does this, you want to hug the wall because that attack can reach through this whole thing, and you don't want to ever think it won't because it can. And just keeps executing this instant death attack, and it's just very annoying. Natalia's bricks don't do enough damage to it also, so that is a real bummer. So Barry Burton is pretty much tackling this thing alone. When it does this, you can quickly shoot it, which is good. Anytime it swings and it whiffs, you can shoot it. Fuck, I missed. That's fine though. But when it executes this instant death attack, you want to try to use this pile to stop it from reaching ya, and then quickly run past it. Barry Burton climbs up quick enough, and you can cancel out the animation a lot earlier than Natalia can. And if it's focused on Natalia, use that time to shoot it, because Natalia can regenerate the damage, and Barry Burton can't. So sacrifices are just going to have to be made. That jumping attack does do damage too. Yep, just get behind this. There we go, yeah, and it can't reach you, and then rinse and repeat. It can get kind of boring, but sometimes the amount of range it has, it can really slip you up. Oh yeah, you see, that can reach over there and it can hit you. You don't want that to happen. I hit it, and when you do enough damage to it, this cutscene activates. You can't skip it, and it just hops out of the window. I mean, it doesn't hop out, it uses its mandible to get itself out. And done. And now you have a way out. Now the main puzzle in this part is you have to get this battery up to the elevator. Now Revenants have spawned there. You want to put it here to get some free ammo. Thankfully though, the Revenant's piss poor vision really helps when you're dealing with them. Let me get Natalia down there. I don't want the Revenant seeing her. So yeah, this is the boring part of the video. I am so gonna cut this out, just walking this damn battery. Alright, so now we get to the interesting part of the video. The Revenants are going to be here. And thanks to their piss poor vision, sneak attacking them is the most optimal way of destroying the Revenants. Now I'm going to destroy... Ooh! Yeah, they're pretty vulnerable after you put them in that animation. You can just kill them really easily. So now, the battery should be over here. Yeah, here we go. Thankfully though, this part isn't too long. You just put the battery here, so I'm not going to cut this part out. It's not too long. Now, have Natalia Corda come over here. She has a brick. Damn it, Natalia. I shouldn't have told her that. Alright. Empty bottle. Come on, where are you at? There you are. You can also just press right trigger. Magnum ammo. That's really, really useful, but I can't pass it to him yet. Can I pass it to him now? Nope. So A button. Then you want to switch over to Barry Burton, and you want to press it. Thankfully, Revenants don't hear that. So now we want to. I'm not gonna cut this out. It's not too long. Now we want to carry it over here. And put it down so Barry Burton can climb on it. And I don't know which leg this is on, but I tell Natalia to stay there. An empty bottle. That's really nice. So I'm going to pass that. I'm going to combine this with alcohol, make more firebomb Molotovs. Alright. I should be able to sneak attack this, because this thing has piss poor range in here, and it's just turning in this little small room. If you're not careful, if it's facing this way, and you come in, it can spot you. And that is just really annoying. Yeah, I'll just tell Natalia to stay there. Alright, empty bottle. And now I'm going to pick this up as Natalia. And they do have about the same walk speed when they have this. I'm not going to cut this out though. It's not too long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I have about 7 or 8 minutes. Tell Natalia, follow me. And come up here. And here it is. It's coming up from here. Then we gotta put it up there. This puzzle it's not too bullshit. So was there a brick somewhere here? It's fine. There's a brick that's gonna be up there. And there's gonna be a Revenant on the elevator. And if you're good enough, Natalia, you can hit it with a brick with Natalia Corda. Hopefully it'll fall over. And then you can just get on the elevator and leave it behind. Although it'll be aggro, it won't be able to reach you. And that is going to produce the optimal results. And there's an herb here you can pick up. So now I'm just going to mix. I'm going to combine this with an explosive bottle. Tell Natalia Corda to stay there. There's a crate up here that you can break. Just nothing but rubies. A ruby. Not too bad. There should be a brick here somewhere. Alright, there's not. Okay, where's a brick? I don't see a brick. Oh, there's one all the way down there. Whatever. I can do this without using a brick. But when it'll become aggro when... Okay, where's the weakness at? Alright. The weakness is that leg. So I want to lure it out here. Alright. Press the A button when now it can't get us. Done. Now it's gonna freeze right here. Tell it to follow me. As you can see, the enemy is clearly aggroed, but it just cannot reach us. So, yep, it's just gonna groan and make noise like it's seen us, but it hasn't. Coming up here is a checkpoint. Anytime you see a little dot on the screen, it's a checkpoint. So I got a really good enemy placement here. If I'm quick enough, I can go behind this enemy, kill it. Yeah, the enemy vision is really fucking poor, as you just seen. Like I said, very reminiscent of clickers. Very reminiscent of clickers. So I want to hurry up and I want to go collect and bust these crates, because there's going to be a Durga and there's going to be some Revenants that are going to spawn. And if I'm good enough, I should be able to evade the Durga without actually having to fight it. I don't have any sniper bullets though. And before I do, I'm just going to have to cut this part, because I just am. So I'm going to have Natalia pick it up. Switch to Barry, and I'm going to cut it right here. Okay, I'm back. So the Durga is going to come about now. Alright, she's still carrying it. Where's the weakness of this guy right here? This is going to be the guy you want to destroy immediately, because, yeah. Oh, not good. I'm just going to use a firebomb on this guy, because that guy is a nuisance. Alright, this is the head. There we go. So Revenants become more aggressive when you expose their weak spot. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 4. No. That's not good. Because the Durga can follow up and they can combo you. So I'm just gonna shoot. See, this is what happens when you go too far away from the Revenants. They can just crawl to you. So now that that guy is dead, what I need to do is I just need to effectively go by him. You can completely avoid this Revenant or this Durga, and what I want him to do is I need him to go after Natalia, because when the Revenant is this slow, it won't be able to catch up to me. So you can do this part without even killing any of the Revenants, but it takes a buddy to do it, or else it's somewhat inconsistent. You don't have to even kill the Durga, and that's the way you want to do it. You want to do this in the most conservative way possible. That's how you want to play this game on no escape difficulty optimally. You want to be as conservative as possible with your ammunition, because you want to, with Barry Burton, you want to save your ammunition for Chapter 4, and with Claire's campaign, you want to be able to have enough ammo to get past Chapter 3, and you want to make sure you have some spare bullets for the grasps on Chapter 4. If you have a smoke screen bottle, that's really useful for Chapter 4 too. But Alex Wesker is going to come, and she just destroyed Barry, and she was going to kill Natalia, but she didn't, and that's Episode 3. Judgment is at its end. And I got an A because, you know, my accuracy wasn't over 80%, but that's fine. And since there's only been like 3 minutes, I'm going to do Claire's campaign on Chapter 4. And, you know, this is the climax of Claire's campaign. And the only enemies here are grasps. They're all grasps. And these enemies on this stage, or on this, it's the areas in which they are put. So the Episode 4 Metamorphosis. But the grasps in this chapter are just very annoying. They are put in these narrow passageways, and like I said, if you get in a glasp's range, you can just activate an animation, and the animation kills you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Moira doesn't get insta-killed by the grab. She just gets incapacitated. And thankfully, on this chapter, there's boxes lined up on the narrow passageways and they enable you to somewhat predict where the grasp is going to be, because if the boxes get pushed over, then that means it's behind the boxes. So you can use that to find out the grasp's location, and you can shoot them. The problem is if you don't kill them, then they can just fly backwards and their position changes and you won't know where to shoot again. So at that point it's just a guess. Honestly, the way I would have balanced this chapter out is I would have put more boxes, because there's not a lot of boxes you can use to determine the grasp's location. And in the later half of the chapter, there are no boxes, and you just have to flat out guess where it's at. And there's an achievement, there's a medal you can get. It says if you knife a grasp to death, you can get the medal. But for now, here's Alex Wesker. She's just gonna rant on about how she wants to become a god and yada yada yada, and she's gonna escape death. But to be honest, I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in getting past the fucking enemies. They give you the right amount of herbs on Claire's campaign if you play conservatively, but on Barry Burton's campaign, they just bombard you with herbs. So I'm just going to discard these. They only give you like one smokescreen bottle too on this chapter. So you pretty much have to play perfectly, and at the end when there's only like a minute left and you have to run, there's grasps, and if Mora gets incapacitated, you put Claire at risk, and if Claire dies you gotta start over from a certain checkpoint. No, it's fine, you're cool. That was just my brother, but back to what's going on. She kills herself, and then of course is when a key character gets destroyed, or when certain criteria is met, the self-destruct sequence activates, and yeah, this happens. So thanks to the battery being low on this damn camera, I might have to cut this short actually, but not now. I at least want to get to a good part and then swap out batteries. But yeah, now we have to escape from the monument, and this place is collapsing. The part any player should worry about is the part in which you're forced to deal with the glass, because simply put, I would have at least given the player 2 smoke screen bottles, at least 2, because they're glass cannons. They die easily, but they can end your freaking game instantly. And there is not enough of resources to use on this chapter to determine where they're at. You only get 1 smoke screen bottle, and I think you get 2, excuse me. You get 2, but they're properly spaced out, and it makes this chapter is short, but it is really tense. It is Claire's shortest chapter. If you're quick enough, you can beat this chapter in about 10 minutes, in less than 12 minutes actually. But it's very tense because the enemies within this chapter are bullshit. You know, instant death is all over the Resident Evil series, and it's a cliche in gaming, and honestly. But Resident Evil has some of the more bullshit ones, in my opinion. And this game is no exception. Glass are a bullshit enemy. They're frail, and they're properly suited to Barry Burton's campaign. Other than that, in Claire's campaign is where they're very alien. So I'm gonna swap batteries now. Alright, I'm back, and here's the part I was talking about. And that is, there are grasps here. You don't know their location, but you have to fucking guess. And where are you at? There you are, you're right there. And now, just kill it like that, and done just like that. And I don't know where this other one is at. Matter of fact, I can just run past it. I don't know where the other 2 are at. But for all intents and purposes, I just pull out my shotgun, and I hope it goes right. Fuck. Whoa! Shit. Wow, it's like right there. Oh, come on, Moira. Come on. Oh, it was right there. See, that is why this chapter is such a pain in the ass, is because these things are just the biggest trolls in this game. And there's any noise you hear, guys in the background, it's just my heater it's on. These guys are the biggest trolls in this game. They're easy to kill, but they just don't die when you need them to. And you're just pretty much forced to just like deal with them. Alright. There we go. See that? And every time it attacks you, it just moves. And it is just a huge pain in the ass to deal with. But thankfully I got past the first one. And now it's time to get past the second one. And it should be somewhere up here. But thankfully I can get behind these boxes. It should be able to tell me where it's at. Come on. Where are you at? Alright. I just gotta use this. There we go. Dead. There's about 3 more that are going to be coming up. And they are in some pretty bullshitty positions. You get an achievement here if you get 100% accuracy. I'm not sure if I've gotten it or not. I don't remember, because just the way the glasps are integrated in the Claire's campaign, I think it's just not fair. But yeah, can't complain forever. Like I said, I just wish there were more boxes. The boxes could really be able to help you tell the location of them. I don't go for that. I just jump down here. You will take some fall damage, but don't worry. And now you just run. You can fall off here. And I repeat, you can fall off. So there is a glass down here, but you don't know where it could be. And you're pretty much just forced to take a guess. And this is what I do. Yeah, see, these things are deceivingly close. And I'm just going to kill it, because it is a very dangerous enemy. You can't ever count them out. And if the supporting character gets incapacitated, then you're forced to deal with it. And you only get 2 smoke screen bottles. So yeah, and the worst part is the glasps aren't even over. And I said you get like 1 minute. Excuse me, you clearly get 3 minutes. But the attack of the glasps is not over, because there's about 2 more we have to deal with, and getting past those 2 can prove to be quite tricky. And there are no smokescreen bottles. I think if the game gave you at least 3 smokescreen bottles, or at least put boxes on where these 2 would be at, it would make the game more balanced, or this part specifically more balanced. But creators didn't want to do that. But like I said before, this chapter is really tense, because if you don't have a smoke screen bottle, if you at least don't have 3 coming in, then you're going to have issues. And you want to just jump across this one. You want to wait for it to come down all the way, and then you want to jump across. And now you want to move this out of the way so Moira will be able to move this crate. Alright, and now have her crouch, move it. Switch over to Claire, open up the door, come over here and open this up. And after this, after Claire's Chapter 4 campaign, I'm just going to make an entirely different video. I'm going to make the follow-up video of Barry Burton's campaign. But here we go. This part is kind of bullshit because there's glass here and there's like 2 of them. And one should be up here. There's no way to tell where it's at. And if you die here, I think you get 1 minute instead of like 1 minute and extra seconds and shit. So basically I'm just going to be using Moira as like bait. It should be up here somewhere. Alright. Alright, it's past me, I think. Come on, Moira. Good, I got past it without dying. There's one more I have to go past, and it's somewhere up here. So I'm just going to use my magnum. I missed. There I go, I got it, yeah. So, those last 2 glasps are pretty bullshit. But again, this is bullshit. Now if you come here, the timer stops and it resets. But yeah, this happens. Claire gets stunned momentarily. Can't skip it either. And Moira gets caught under rubble. And there's nothing we can do for her. And the timer resets to 27, giving you ample amounts of time to walk over here and activate this animation in which you have to jump off if you want to survive and complete the chapter. And you have to jump. You can rotate the camera around and do whatever. Press the A button and you jump off. I probably got an A on this chapter most likely because I've gotten the achievement. The medal where you can just complete the episode with 100% accuracy. Defeat 1 glass with a knife. Whatever. I got a B because my accuracy was shitty. It's fine, but yeah. Well, next up is Barry Burton's campaign, Chapter 4.